Scopes are simply things like, do you want us to share tweets? Do you want us to share user information? Just things, scopes are simply a list of permissions that you want that the user is sort of asking to do. So simply things like, for something like Twitter, can we share tweets? Can we share user information? These are simply what we call scopes, right? And then the user will sort of allow access in a typical scenario, right? And that access goes back to the authorization server. Now, for the authorization server to ask, for it to authorize or redirect the URI, it needs to send a request back to the client application once that entire process has been completed. The first process has been completed once you allow access, right? Now, a second process starts again where, now, if you wanted to redirect that URI, say in an authorization code, you want to authenticate that authorization code to the redirect URI, right? In situations where you're not able to meet the first URI and you need a redirect, or you want to create a failsafe, the authorization server requests that from the client app. And once he gets that request, it sends a get token request with an authorization code, a client ID, and a client secret, right, to the server side of the system, which goes back again to the authorization server to complete that process. Now, once the authorization server validates the client ID, the secrets, and the code, it sends a token back to the client app, right? And the client app would basically send some protected resources using something called a bearer token to the resource server. Now, that resource server would validate the token itself from that auth server and send a response back to the client app. This entire process that I've just spoken about is what we call an authorization code grant flow. In order for us to fully understand and appreciate this, there are various concepts that I'm basically going to put by the side here to sort of like drive this point forward. So you have query parameters in the token request, things like client ID, your response type, your scopes, your redirect URI,